how's it going today?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm glad to see that you're together. This is fantastic. So really, you can get cozy. It's all good. So far what I've seen, I'm hooked, and I'm not even a teenager. I mean, I know I look like one, but it's all good. But but Annalisa, let's start with you. I was wondering, when you booked the role, did you immediately run out and get the book and get into the mindset of these, of the whole group, not just your character?
Oh yeah, I got the audition, and I don't know. I remember I was like at the gym with a friend, and I was like, oh my gosh, it just felt so right. I cannot tell you, it felt so right. And I got the book after, I think before I had that first audition, like just to kind of read it. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna skim it. And I really was not planning on reading the whole thing, and I finished it in one sitting. So I from the beginning, I used that as my source material, and it was so rich. I mean, to have a first person account, it really, I kind of say I cheated, because it was it was all in front of me, what I needed. It was all there. So.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper is a guy that, boy, I mean, they all have a lot on their plate. But I have to say, Cooper, I think, to me, watching what I've seen so far, really is the most stressed out. Tell me a little bit about getting into his headspace and what it was like for you to be a part of this.
Really quickly, I'll just help you. It's Chib, C-H-I-B. Chib.
Got it, Chib. And I apologize. I'm sorry. And you know what? I practiced so many times before.
You're all good. You're all good. No worries.
Chib, got it. Go for it.
So help me one more time. How did the question?
Just getting, he's so stressed. He's got a lot going on there. I don't want to give away anything by telling what it is, but just preparing and getting into the headspace of a character like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just want to do the character justice, and to do the character justice, you want to fully understand his world. You want to fully understand all that he is dealing with. And Cooper, he's dealing with so much. And how do you get into the headspace? I think you care for the character. You do the research. You don't shy away from things that are challenging. You put yourself in that position as best you can to understand. And so for me, that was doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of people, reading a lot of books, reading articles, watching YouTube videos on topics that, you watch them and it's like, man, it's really sad to see what some people struggle with.
Yes.
And the more that you can understand the world, the easier it becomes to, live it and portray it when the camera starts rolling.
Yeah. Annalisa, I want to ask you, at the basis of this whole series, you've got a guy, Simon, played by Mark McKenna, who has written this blog, and he's outing people, giving their secrets away. It's just damn mean, really mean. And, it's high school, but it's at a really awful level. And I always thank God that my boys never really experienced anything like that. Can you talk, address that situation? Because obviously there's going to be a lot of kids, a lot of teens watching this series. And unfortunately, some of them are going to relate to that. Yeah. Tell me about how you feel about, social media and its impact on kids today.
Yeah, I think it's devastating, and that's really harsh, maybe a strong word to use, but at least even for me, I constantly go on there and I compare myself, and I find myself falling into these ruts of feeling bad for whatever reason, even seeing how much someone your age is doing, and then feeling so bad that you can't even start your project, or you can't start your thing because you think that it's already been done, or you think that someone else is doing it, or they're way ahead of you and that you'll never be there. Right. And I think that it's quite debilitating. And I think that teens, they are the most resilient people, because they are dealing with it on such a grand scale. And for them, that is their entire world. Yeah. And to go home from school and to still have school be there, used to be able to go home from school and escape, and now it's
right
there.
Yeah. Yes.
I just know how they deal with it. And I think that we need to figure out something, but who knows what.
I know it's tough. It's hard on everybody, not just kids, adults, everybody. It's like being bullied, but being cowardly, because you can hide behind that, and it's something to think about for sure. And I think that this will heighten that and make people think. I hope. Chib, for you, despite all the darkness of the series, you guys must have had a phenomenal time bonding and working together and being in New Zealand. I mean, come on, seriously, pre-COVID, what was all that like?
Well, not even pre-COVID, but it was it was post-COVID, but New Zealand created a world that was, because they had handled their COVID situation so well. I was in LA where I was walking around wearing a mask, and you can't do anything. And then you get to go to this country, you quarantine for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, I remember the first time I stepped into like a bar restaurant and there were so many people standing around close to each other. And I was like,
no mask.
It was alarming because I'm like, this isn't right. But the world that we got to film in, and New Zealand is such a beautiful country. The crew we worked with was incredible. And then we're making magic with like some of my closest friends. So it's a dream. It's so good.
Yeah. And thank you so much for the scenes where you take off your shirt. I appreciated that.
We all did. Thank you. We all did. We're like, more, write them in more.
Yeah, stop blushing there. Seriously, did you work out hard for that? Because you must have worked hard.
I swear this man, he doesn't even need to. Like you still do, but he does not need to. He always looks in pristine shape.
Look at his talking.
You're really sweet.
Well, I want to say,
all look fab. You all look fab. Okay, so to wrap it up, and this is maybe a little bit deep question, but Annalisa, I want to ask you, because here, of course, it's described as the Breakfast Club with murder, right? And you've got these 4 people who we don't know if they're guilty. We don't know what's going on and whether they are or not. What is it about being, accused of something, even if you're not guilty, you still feel guilty or come off feeling guilty? What is that?
I think that's lodged in maybe like how we've evolved or something. But the minute you overthink something, right? The minute someone like puts it in front of you, you could have done this. I think that your brain starts to just overthink to a point that you almost like take on the fact that you've done it, right?
And also, that's the strength of social media in a sense, where it's like perception kind of becomes reality, even though it might not be the case. Like that's how powerful it is. Once it's out there, once someone thinks something, or it becomes much harder to pull back, than to let something out there.
So an accusation could ruin even in today's world, an accusation true, false could ruin your life. So that's always.
Yeah, it really makes you think. But again, you both were so good in this series, honestly. I cannot wait to finish it. And I really do appreciate your time today. Congratulations and best of luck with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Okay, bye guys. Take care.
See ya.